Hey guys, we're going to give everybody just a few more minutes to get in and then we will get started. But just a reminding, this is recorded. Just so it's going to go on our YouTube page and a couple other places. If anyone's internet does get unstable, just go ahead and try to join back in. We'll catch you up on whatever's lost or whatever question was asked. That way you do get a chance to talk. We got the housekeeping rules at the beginning. Okay, I think we're waiting on just one other person, but I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself since they jump in.
Yeah.
We'll just recap whatever they missed. But hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa Belton. I'm actually a graduate assistant for the Student Activities Office. I specifically work in Greek life, but I worked in leadership and volunteerism last year. But I'm a graduate student here at WKU, and I'm really excited to get to know all of you. So I'm just going to have each of you I'm going to call on you. That way it's just a little bit easier for us to go around. But if I pronounce your name the first or second time, I apologize sincerely. Correct me. We'll fix it and we'll move on. But I do go by she, her pronouns too. I don't know if that's something that any of you feel free to know, but I know that is a popular thing to know nowadays. So just throwing it out there. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Emma because you're at the top of my screen. So just tell me who you are, your major, organization, all that good stuff.
All right. Hi, my name is Emma Moore. I am a math and Spanish major, and I'm the president of SIAM, the Society for Industrial and Applied Mathematics.
Awesome. Okay, Joshua?
Hi, my name is Josh. I'm a political science, economics, philosophy major. I'm the president of Mock Trial.
Okay. Brett?
Hi, my name is Brett. I'm a graduate student. I'm in the Student Affairs program here at Western. My program is Saga Steering Committee.
Gotcha. Okay. Manzar, if I pronounced that wrong, I apologize already.
Very good. Hi, my name is Manzar Zaiva. I am majoring in chemistry and biology. I'm a junior and president of WKU Chemistry Club.
Awesome. Kendall.
Hi, I'm Kendall. I'm a biochem major and I'm the treasurer of Chem Club.
All right. So I see it's Derek, but Catherine, correct?
Yes, Derek is still in lab. He was hoping to get out of lab early. Derek is the president of the Student Rural Health Association, which is an organization for any student who's interested in the health field and improving rural health.
Wonderful. Randall, would you like to introduce yourself just real quick?
Yes, hello. I am Randall P. Bogar, Assistant Director of Student Activities. I oversee all the RSO administrative side. I am also the Student Government Association's advisor as well as Campus Activities Board advisor. So welcome you all. Thank you for joining us today. Just remember, we're going to share this with people who are not here on YouTube and our webpage, and we greatly appreciate the input you will provide to them. But I will step in the background and allow Alyssa to do her job.
Okay, guys. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and let the participants know that there is a Q&A box. So feel free to ask questions throughout the session if there's something you really want to know more about. But my first question for all of you, just until we can get those questions rolling in, is what's the best part of being a Hilltopper here at WKU? So I'll start kind of in the same order. So Emma, if you want to go ahead.
Oh, the best part. I don't know. I think kind of a difficult question. I think I just really love the campus. Like for me, greenery and nature was a big part of selecting a campus for me. And it's a very, especially in the math department, like I got to meet some of the math people before I committed here, and I just knew it was an environment that I would enjoy doing research and stuff in.
Yeah, the green campus is one of my favorite parts also. Josh?
I'm a really big fan of the community. Like most of the people that I meet here are really kind and really willing to just stop and chat, like professors and students included. So it's a really easy place to feel like you kind of belong here,
Brett, would you like to share?
I think for me, it's you can always find your own little group here on campus. whether you have different interests from other people or you want to start your own kind of club, you always find like-minded people here that can kind of do that with you.
Manzar, I am pronouncing your name correctly, correct?
Yes, yes, you are. It's definitely the diversity and amount of opportunities that are present, no matter what your major is or where you're headed towards. Whether it's the professors being available all the time to help you out, or the student club organizations that have different multiple types that anybody can join and be part of.
Kendall?
For me, it's probably like the spirit and like the campus culture that we all have. It very much promotes like people being kind to each other, people being outgoing, starting conversation, even with people you don't know. So like, even though we're all very different and diverse, and that's great, we still all stand together under like the same banner because we're all Hilltoppers together.
Very well said. Catherine, I know that you're the advisor, but if you could share a little bit, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, no, one of my things, I'm still a Hilltopper and I'm an alum. So one of my favorite things about the campus community is just the opportunities that present themselves, you know, whether you're interested in growing plants or you're interested in the stars or anything in between, there's always an opportunity for you. And if there isn't one, I think Brett mentioned this, is you can create one and have one there and find your group of people.
Also well said. So for those of you that have just joined, there is a Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. So we're open for questions. So go ahead, if you have any of those, feel free to send them in. But I do have another one if we don't have any open questions right now. So I would like to hear more about your organization, what your organization does. And for those that just joined, go ahead, maybe restate your name and what organization you represent. But I'd like to know a little bit more about your organizations. So we'll start again with Emma if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, sure. As stated, my name is Emma. I'm here representing SIAM, the Society for Industrial and Applied Mathematics. And SIAM does a lot of different things. There's a lot of different benefits of joining. Like I know they have all kinds of like news updates and updates on what kind of research is being done in the field. And there's a lot of networking opportunities that they have and career resources. But I think the most beneficial thing for me so far has been, since I'm a student researcher, a lot of conferences will have discounts on registration fees for members of different organizations like the MAA or the AMS. But those usually cost money to join, but SIAM will also usually have a discount, and membership is completely free for students. So it's really great. It's really great.
Awesome. Okay, Josh?
I'm Josh Zazak with Mock Trial again. So in Mock Trial, we basically get a fake legal case every year, and then we go over it and we split into roles, and people play either attorneys or witnesses, and we make a case out of it, either prosecuting or defending based on the facts and everything. And then we go and compete with other schools in front of judges and real life attorneys to see who's trying the better case and to see who's got a better grasp on the law and acting. So it's a really neat combination of people who want to be lawyers in real life and people who just like love acting and want to pretend to be witnesses and everything. It's great for public speaking and storytelling and all of that. And also there's a competition element, which is really fun. This year we're competing virtually.
Wonderful. Okay, Brett?
Hi, my name is Brett Middleton again. I'm with SAGA, which is the Student Affairs Graduate Association for the Student Affairs Master Program here at Western. We're kind of just a small little program where we get about 5 to 7 people who are on a steering committee. And we just do a lot of stuff student affairs based, whether it's working with Greek Live, whether it's holding little fundraisers for student awareness, stuff like that. A lot of our stuff's focused on the undergrad student experience and kind of helping you all out as aspiring student affairs professionals.
Okay, so quick little info. I actually am also a part of the student committee for SAGA. So student affairs, if you don't know, it's working professionally on a college campus. So admissions, student activities, things like that. So if you're interested, I know that SAGA does have a Instagram
Jump program.
And yeah, also the jump program, really great. But fun little fact about that. And then Kendall?
Yeah, I'm Kendall with Chem Club again. Monzar had to leave early, so I will be representing Chem Club for the rest of the panel. So we are primarily a professional development organization. So we seek to connect people with other students who are interested in chem or who are in the same field of like chemistry or biochemistry. It's a really great way to make connections and to meet other people like in the same field, especially now. Um, like academics here are very collaborative and it takes a village to get a major, in my opinion, like to get your degree. So I think it's very important to like meet other students that are in the same field of study, and Chem Club is a great way to do that.
It takes a village to get a degree. I love that, and I'm going
Mhm.
to use it later on. So I'll quote you, though.
Thank you.
Catherine.
Yeah, I'm Catherine. I'm the staff advisor for the Student Rural Health Association, which is the student chapter of the Kentucky Rural Health Association, which is part of the National Rural Health Association. And it's just a group of students who are interested in learning more about rural health and how Kentucky's rural health is impacting its health outcomes. And so usually we meet once a month and we bring in guest speakers, whether it's a physician or nurse practitioner or someone in the rural health area to just talk with the students and share stories.
Okay, I really appreciate all of the sharing. You said that it takes a village to get a degree. So I'm going to do a little bit of publicity for student activities right now. So one of the great things about student activities is that we are part of that village. So I'm going to go ahead and share to all of you, of course, and then the people that are going to be watching later on our YouTube. We have a couple of great things that happen within our office. Of course, we have registered student organizations, which are all a part of our RSOs. Gonna have trouble today. But we also have DLI, which is our Dynamic Leadership Institute. So it's another tool that really helps you both personally and professionally develop. So we have this nice little flyer here. This is what it looks like. But I'll also put the link down in our box for anyone that wants to do something to be a part of that. It's an again, Dynamic Leadership Institute, but it's just 4 phases, and it really does help you I just went completely blank, ladies and gentlemen. It helps you really bump up your resume, but also build those personal and professional skills. So again, I will put those links down below, as well as the link to our RSO website and the link to our student activities page. So a little bit of publicity for all of you that are currently here and the people that are going to be watching later on. So what I want to know about now is, what is the hardest part about being in a student registered organization? So we'll start with Emma. I see you thinking.
I guess, probably just finding a time when everyone is available to meet, I think could potentially be the hardest thing. Also, with the pandemic right now, finding ways to make meetings work is also difficult, because I know we try to have social events at the start of each semester, usually to try to recruit new students, and that was a little difficult this time, brainstorming on how to accomplish the same type of atmosphere, I guess, through Zoom.
Great point. Josh?
Probably making sure that just everyone's on the same page with where you're at, especially since my organization does competitions, making sure everyone's like really cohesive and flowing together in how you're presenting things and everything, and everyone's just really on the same page with all the work and everything, which is also one of the fun parts, is like getting everything together, but it certainly has its challenges.
Thank you. Brett?
I would have to say it's probably kind of catering to the needs of those who are in your organization and making sure, they're feeling connected on campus, making sure they're feeling like they're part of something bigger than just a small little group of friends, but also making sure their needs are met academically as well. So kind of making sure you're making all their stuff well-rounded out so they can be better professionals in their own field once they graduate.
Okay. Before we continue on, I do see a new panelist, so I would love for you to introduce yourself and what organization that you are representing.
Hi, my name is Charlie Schartzer. I'm representing the Women in Science and Engineering Club today, otherwise known as WISE. So yeah, what do you want me just to talk a little bit about the club really quick, or are we doing that later?
No, you can go ahead and talk about your club.
Okay. So WISE is an organization just supporting women in the STEM field. You don't have to be a girl to join the club. We want everyone to support. So we do a lot of fun things. We have bi-weekly meetings where we get together and we just talk about like different things going on in the STEM field currently. We normally have like a historical women feature where we talk about a famous woman in the STEM field. We go through and we go volunteer at elementary schools teaching young girls about the STEM field, where we teach a quick fun lesson and we also do a fun experiment with them. And then we also have like just other events throughout the year. We normally participate in just tabling around campus, which of course this year that's not really a possibility. So we're just trying to figure out what all we can do this year with the new regulations.
I also see that Reagan Bailey, if you would like to talk about your organization a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Can you guys hear me?
We're good.
Okay, awesome. So my name is Reagan Bailey, and I am the head of training and recruitment.
Okay. Make sure you got kicked off.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, Reagan.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So yeah, so I work for PBS, and basically one of the biggest things we do is that we produce all of the games and sports and stuff on campus, and we actually get to work with ESPN while we do that. We also get to do, we're basically a production company, and so we do smaller projects around the university. We get to produce live concerts, which is a lot of fun. It's a great work experience and stuff. We're actually hiring right now. We have orientation next week, and I can put my information in the comments and stuff like that. So if you're interested, then you can just contact me and stuff, and we can set that up for you. Joining PBS, it is a paid job. I want to make that clear because a lot of people, ask if it's paid or whatever, stuff like that. It is paid, but if you guys want any more information about anything, I can put my contact stuff in the comments, and you guys can message me with any questions or anything that you guys have to say.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so back to the question that I asked, we're going to refresh a little bit. And of course, if any of the people that are on this chat have any questions or anything that they would like to add, there's that Q&A box down there, or you can use the chat feature as well. But the question was, what's the hardest part about being in a registered student organization? So Kendall, I think we left off with you.
Yeah, so I would say it's probably finding a balance between like our mission statement of like professional development and also like making our content engaging, like making sure that like our members are having fun and that they enjoy coming to meetings, but also like meeting our standards of like professional development and making sure that we're delivering on like getting those connections and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Catherine, would you like to share?
Yeah, I'd say just one of the harder aspects of it is balancing the time. There may be a lot of things that they want to do, the students want to do, they want to participate in, and then all of a sudden labs pop up and classwork pops up. So it's balancing the student organization participation with the role of being a student.
I'm gonna probably pronounce your name wrong. Shaylee? Is that how you pronounce it?
It's Chally.
Chally. There we go. We're good. Okay.
It's like Allie with a ch. That's what I tell people.
Beautiful. I like it. Okay, so would you like to tell me what you think the hardest part of being in a registered student organization is?
Yeah, it's definitely kind of like Catherine said with the timing. All students are very busy, and it seems like especially like your freshman year when you're first joining clubs, you join so many clubs and because you're like excited to be a part of it and excited to join all these things. And the next thing you know, your plate's full and you have 2 meetings on the same day at the same time. And so just finding that kind of school like club balance and deciding how much is too much to take on and realizing like when you need to kind of step back and take like a smaller role in things. But I definitely think that that's hard. That's probably one of the hardest things about it.
I can agree. Reagan?
I'm going to agree with what everyone else is saying because my freshman year, everyone was like, yeah, like you need to join all these clubs, like get involved on campus. And I had way too much on my plate and I learned that really fast. And so I agree with everyone how they're just saying that like it's all about timing and like learning how to balance all of it and stuff. So I think that'd be the hardest.
Yes, time management is definitely key to get the degree. It takes a village, but it also takes a really good planner or clock, maybe both, set some alarms, all of the above. So I don't think that we have any questions in our chat right now, but I would love to know what it takes to go from a member to an exec member or a leader within your organizations. So again, we'll start with Emma, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. Well, right now for SIAM, it doesn't really take much. A lot of our members just graduated, so we actually only have, I think, 2 students right now, and we're definitely looking for officers. And you don't have to be that familiar with SIAM. I know I wasn't, and I was like, I believe when I joined, I barely knew SIAM existed, and I was immediately our social media officer. So that was an experience. But yeah, any knowledge you need to know, we will be happy to explain it to you. But we're definitely looking for more officers.
That's awesome. Okay, Josh.
We hold an election within our organization at the end of every year. So at the end of spring, there are 5 officer positions in mock trial, including the president. And everyone who is in the club gets to vote on it, and we run and give speeches and everything, and it's a straight up democracy.
Awesome. Rhett.
So for the steering committee, you're nominated by either somebody on the committee or by somebody in the program who just knows you personally or knows your work ethic. And then the committee currently, before the graduating seniors leave, they vote on who they want to have replace those seniors.
Interesting. All right, Kendall?
Yeah, so we also hold an election at the end of the year in the spring. I believe we will have 2 officer positions opening up this coming year, assuming everybody who is an officer comes back who's not graduating. So that's how you become an officer.
Awesome. Catherine?
Yeah, Student Rep Health Association has a officer election in the spring. We do have a couple vacancies though right now due to students graduating early, and so there are openings for new people, and we'll do an election this fall to fill just those few vacancies.
Awesome. And for those of you that are saying that you have elections, can anyone run, or is it typically the people that are a little bit older in or have been in the organization for a little bit longer?
Well, it wasn't difficult for me at all. I'm a sophomore right now, and I'm the treasurer of Chem Club, so I don't think you have to be at all that old to become an officer.
Awesome.
For SRHA, we like to see the students have come to meetings and like participate in the club before running, but that's the only requirement.
Gotcha. Josh?
Anyone who's a member is allowed to run. And since we have tryouts at the beginning of the year, you'll have been in mock trial for at least a year. And so it is the case that some people who were in it for a year ran and won officer positions. So anyone who's on the team can become an officer.
Awesome. All right. Chally.
Yeah, like many of the other clubs, we also hold elections at the end of the year. We have 5 officer positions. We have a president, vice president, a social media director, and then 2 activities coordinators, which is what I am for the club. And so each year we have elections, and anyone is allowed to run, but we normally would like to, like Catherine said, we like to see members who have been to a few meetings. Like, we don't want it to be your very first meeting showing up to the club and then you decide to run, because you don't really know what the club stands for, what the club does yet at that point. So it'd be a little hard to lead, but that's normally the method that we go about for it.
All right. Reagan?
So we don't have elections like everyone else does, but we do have a hiring process. And so basically, after orientation, you will go through a 8-week training program. And so basically, at the beginning of the week, we will teach you what you need to know. And then at the end of the week, we will test you on it. And when I mean testing, like if you mess something up, we're not going to be like, oh, you're fired. Like, that's it. Like, no, like obviously some of the stuff we do is hard. And so we like work with you on it. And then at the very end of the program, you have a final project basically, but you have like 2 months to work on it. It's really short. The staff is here to help you. That's pretty much it, because we don't really have like different ranks, I guess. The only reason why I'm head is because my friend graduated who was doing it, and she was like, Reagan. I was like, okay, I'll do it.
A little bit of voluntold.
Right.
Okay, so for those that are going to be watching this later on YouTube or on our website, I just kind of want to give each of you a chance to go ahead and tell us how those students specifically can get into contact with you. So whether or not you have an Instagram or an email or anything like that. So this is just your time to really promote your organization and how to get in contact with you. So Emma, if you would like to start again.
Yeah, sure. Probably best would be to email either myself, at Emma. I can send it in the chat, or I'll also send the email of our advisor. We're probably the two best people to get in contact with at this point.
For those students that are going to be watching this on YouTube later on, is there a website or is it just specifically more the email?
I believe we also have a website. I don't know if we've updated it yet this year, but that should be out there. So our contact information should be on there as well.
Awesome. And all of the student organizations should be on the registered student organization directory. So if you're watching and you're not currently in the chat where you can see that information, you should be able to go to that website. Just Google WKU SAO, which is Student Activities Office, and go to those RSOs, registered student organizations. But Josh, if you'd like to go ahead.
Yeah, we're currently in the process of getting our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter really started up. So here soon, you should be able to go there and just look up WKU mock trial and be able to find us. An even quicker and more direct way would be to email me just at my WKU email, which is my name with the numbers 394. So that would be a really direct way, but we'll be posting info online once we get those up and running as well.
Awesome. Kendall?
Oh, we also have a website where we post most of our information. We also have an Instagram. And if you want to get in touch with us directly, you can email any of the officers and we'll get back to you on that. I'm also going to leave all that info in the chat real quick.
Awesome. Shaylee.
Yeah, the best way to get into contact with us, we have an Instagram page that's just WKU Wise. You can either send a direct message on there, but an even better way if you just want a direct form of contact is to email either myself or our president, Caroline. I'll send through the emails for us in the chat so everybody can see it, and also the Instagram tag. But yeah, those are probably the easiest ways to get in contact with us.
Wonderful. Reagan?
I think the easiest way to get in contact with me is my email, and I already put that in the chat. But we do also have a Facebook page, which I'm pretty sure is just WKU PBS. And you can't really make contact with us there, but it's just all of the stuff that we produce and stuff, and little updates and stuff like that, so people can follow along and see what we're doing.
Awesome. Brett?
So we do have a Facebook, and then we do have an Instagram. It's just Saga WKU for the Instagram, and it's Student Affairs of WKU for the Facebook. If you need to get in direct contact with anybody on the committee, you can always email our advisor, Aaron Huey. You just ask anybody on Westman's campus. They should know who he is. He's pretty much a local legend here. So I put his email there in the chat as well. He forwards all the emails he gets for Saga to all the acting steering committee.
All right, and then Catherine.
Yeah, we have a website. It's not updated for this year yet with meeting dates yet, so stay tuned for that. But we also run through a Blackboard site, so if you're interested in being added to the Blackboard site, just send me an email and we'll add you, and that way you'll get notifications whenever a new meeting or Zoom link changed or speaker presentations changed.
Excellent. Okay, so I still do not see any questions in our Q&A box. I appreciate all of you in the chat dropping all of that wonderful information. I do have one final question for you guys, unless that there is a question that pops up. So I really love to hear everyone's advice to not only freshmen, but students at WKU. So maybe the biggest piece of advice that you got, or a piece of advice you wish you had known. For me, it's always, I wish people had told me to really get involved with my professors, introduce myself, be active and be engaging, because those people were going to be the people that wrote me recommendation letters later on. I was a very shy freshman. I did not get to do that at the beginning, but after getting that tip, it kind of helped me get out of my shell a little bit and really own up to where I could get recommendation letters and things like that. So, Emma, do you mind starting for this again?
Yeah, definitely along those same lines. I'm quite an introvert and perfectionist, so it was definitely really hard for me to go to my professors when I needed help, because I always, felt like, I needed to be able to understand it by myself, and I would be disappointing someone if I didn't. But they wouldn't have office hours if they didn't want you to come to them for help. So definitely that, and also it when you go to your professors to ask them for help, some wonderful opportunities can make themselves known. Like, that's how I got involved in the research I've been working on for like 2 years now. So just because I went to ask him about a question on a quiz that we took, I was like, hey, what is this? And he was like, oh yeah, this is the answer. Also, here's my research project. Are you interested in working on this? And I was like, yes. And I got to go to Hawaii to present research for that. So it's just, a lot of unexpected opportunities can arise, and you'll get help.
And getting a trip to Hawaii, that's definitely the icing on the top, y'all. Okay, so Josh, piece of advice.
Can you repeat the basic question again? Sorry.
Yes. So a piece of advice that you either wish you had known or just something that someone had told you specifically for our students here at WKU.
Yes. I think something I'd like to have known from the beginning is like, it doesn't matter as much quantity of the things you're doing as much as that you're really passionate about it and that it's affecting you and you can affect things by the things you're in. So it would be better to be in like 2 clubs that you're really passionate and interested in than to join every club that you encounter, because then you're going to be able to show like the things you learned from it and how it made you grow, and it's going to genuinely teach you things and help you to grow. So I would just keep with what you're interested in.
Excellent advice. Kendall?
So, like I said earlier, I think it's very important that you get to know the people in your classes and in your field of study. You're never going to be able to do everything yourself. You cannot complete college on your own. You might not know what's going on in your chem class, but maybe your lab partner does, and that goes for every single academic class you're taking. So it's very important that you get to know the people in your classes and work with them.
Absolutely. Find a buddy. If you happen to miss a class, which I do not recommend, but if it happens, your car breaks down, something like that, it's definitely good to have that one friend that you know that their notes are good.
Oh yeah.
Trust what they're doing.
Yeah, but to whoever needs to hear this, go to class.
Yes. 10 out of 10. Best advice. Go to class. You're paying for it. Do it. Charlie?
Yeah, like, of course, like everyone said, talk to your teachers, talk to the people in your class, but also don't be afraid to go for opportunities, even if you don't think you'll get it. Don't be afraid to ask that teacher if you can help with their research, even though you're a freshman and you feel like you know nothing about whatever subject you're studying. Don't be afraid to ask, because they just are excited that you're wanting to learn. Don't be afraid to like go for that officer position in your club. Like when I applied for activities coordinator in WISE, I was like, in my head, I already decided, I was like, I'm probably not going to get this, but I'm just going to go for it. And then here I am. So don't be afraid to just try, because this is the one point in your life where it's really up to you, whatever you do. And you don't have the responsibility of your full-time job outside of school. Like you have class and you have all these things that you can be a part of. And of course, make sure it's the ones that you're passionate about, but don't be afraid to try for an opportunity, even if you feel like you can't get it, because you never know if you can.
Very well spoken. Small story, I applied for a scholarship and it turns out I was like, there's no way I'm going to get this. Like, no way I'm going to do this, but I'll just do it anyways. Y'all, I had a $500 scholarship my sophomore year just because I was like, you know what, might as well. So definitely take those risks and do things like that. That's an excellent piece of advice. Reagan?
Yeah, I love what everyone's saying. It's just gonna like wrap up kind of what I'm saying. Like as a broadcasting major, like I feel like professors, like people you work with, everyone is telling you to like get out there and make connections, because like broadcasting, like that's your job, you know what I mean? Like it's not like graduating and like having this, like you have to like make the connections. So I really agree with what everyone's saying about just like get yourself out there, like talk to the person next to you in class, like go bug your teacher about something. Like just like the little things, just like make yourself known and like really get out there.
Absolutely. Brett?
Mine's kind of a 2-part advice, but don't be afraid to ask for help. I mean, you're a college student. Yes, you're a young adult, but you're still learning. You're still kind of going through life. Don't be afraid to ask for help from a friend, teacher, people in your organization. Don't shoulder everything by yourself. And the second part of that is kind of just take time for yourself. Take a break, take a day to just sit, relax, and go outside in the hammock on campus. I mean, those are the best ways to relax, in my opinion. If it's nice out, just find whatever helps you decompress from like a hard week of school, clubs, and everything else. Because you still got 4 years of this. You don't want to just burn yourself out in the first year or two.
Absolutely. Self-care is very important. And for those of you that don't know, WKU actually has a counseling center on campus. It's free. And right now, amidst the coronavirus, they are actually doing virtual appointments. So you can still get that session in if that's something that you need, someone you just need to talk to. So also going to plug the counseling center at WKU. All right. And then Catherine?
Yeah, one bit of advice I just say, like, step out of your comfort zone at least once a day, and definitely like once a year, like one big thing. If that's applying for that research position or getting a job off campus or going and studying abroad when we're allowed to do that again, just step out of your comfort zone because it'll help you prepare you for when you have to do that on a regular basis outside of college.
Absolutely. My biggest regret in undergrad was not going on a study abroad. So again, take all the opportunities that you can. That's life advice from all of us. But that is pretty much all that we have today. I appreciate all of you for representing your organizations. You all did beautifully. And I can't wait to see what all of you guys do. So that's it.